super busy up in Bribie today. Just going to let the tyres down to probably about 18 psi. Okay, so I'll put the vehicle in neutral. Now I'm just going to switch it across to 4 low. Okay, 4 low's on. Now we're ready to head down the track. So we're just cruising along in 4 low, 3rd gear. Oh, a bit bouncy here. Well, we're bouncing on the bump stops.
Holding on, River.
Gotta keep up momentum through here. Pretty soft. So we've had the GWM Canon for about 3 weeks now. The model we decided to purchase was the base model. We didn't feel it necessary to get the high spec models, as the base model has pretty much everything we needed anyway. Still has all of your safety features, including the emergency braking, the blind spot monitoring, lane center keeping, and adaptive cruise control, among others. So you still get all your safety features, which is the most important thing, I think. You also get false leather seats, the keyless entry and keyless start. You can even start the car using the key fob with a little button, which is pretty handy if you want to get the AC cranking in those hot summer days before you hop in, or also to let the vehicle warm up. The vehicle also has a reversing camera with 2 sensors, and it also has a passenger side camera. It looks down the front and back of the vehicle. You can toggle between them. You can also turn the side camera on when you're reversing, which is really handy so you can see down the side of the vehicle. The interior is also pretty much exactly the same as the high spec L model, the only difference being that the steering wheel doesn't have a leather wrap, and also the rear view mirror isn't auto dimming. The base model still also has a large display with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and I find the entertainment unit using is quite easy to use. It's quite responsive, and I haven't had any issues yet using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. In the back you also get a 240 volt socket that powers up to 120 watts, which I was using to run a little fridge in the back, which is very handy when you're doing long trips and you keep your stuff cool all day. My favourite feature was adaptive cruise control. It's been amazing on really long trips. It makes it so much less tiring. It works really well. And also the lane center keeping, that seems to work pretty well too. You hardly have to do anything. I did a 2-hour long trip the other day and it just made it so much less tiring. Like you can just kick back a bit and not have to concentrate so hard, because adaptive cruise control keeps you a nice distance away from the cars in front, and the lane center keep-in does a pretty good job at steering for you, so you don't have to focus so hard about staying in the lane. It even works in stop-start traffic, but if you stop for too long then it'll turn off and you have to reset the cruise control just as a safety feature. As far as performance goes, on paper the vehicle looks like it has less power than the rivals with only 120 kilowatts at 400 newton meters. But when driving, it has to go surprisingly well. I think that's to do with the 8-speed gearbox, giving it the ability to keep in a good rev range. But one thing it does suffer from is a bit of turbo lag down low in the rev range. So you have to be aware of this when trying to take off at intersections, etc., and realise that it will take a little bit to get going. But once you're up and moving, it just performs pretty well. So the ride quality is also pretty good for this price point. It's not as polished as your more expensive models like your Ford Rangers, etc. But for the price it's actually pretty good considering it's a dual cab ute. We've got no problems with the ride quality. We've been doing a few long trips on the vehicle so far and we're getting pretty good fuel economy, around 7.2 litres per 100 kilometres on highway runs and about 9.7 litres per 100 kilometres around town. So it's pretty good for such a big heavy ute, I think. So far quite impressed with the vehicle for the price. No real big issues so far apart from maybe the turbo lag. So I think it's very good and definitely worth the price. I'm going to do another review in probably 6 months time, and after we've used it for a while, and see if there's anything else I find issues we pick up along the way.